I think AMD is on a double bottom from previous day at 120. So look at it, 120.10. You're at a double bottom bounce range, right? Yep, double bottom from yesterday's close of day. Everybody see that? So this is a huge double bottom. This is resistance. I want you guys to recognize the first thing I did when he asked me. Did everybody see what I did?
You went back to see
That's
the
right.
last significant level around this
That's
price.
right, right? So we immediately go back in time. And what did it do exactly right here at 120.09?
Exactly what you always say.
Yep,
A double bottom potential
right?
bounce.
Yep. So now it doesn't mean it's going to be a huge level because now maybe it's going to come back and retest it fast and break through, but we got to know these areas because if you guys are trading, even if it's this for the small, short interim, just very small, even on a micro, right? It gives you a higher percentage of the ability to make money. Even if it was just the move from here and it pulled back on the 9, isn't that a higher probability, though, that you were going to be able to get the longs up into the 9, right? The probability is there. So even if it's short, most of the time, right, you're going to be looking at a win. Every once in a while, will it break through? Sure. But the probability is there that it's at least going to attempt that move, right? And don't we want to have higher probability? There's no 100% guarantee, but don't we want to have a higher probability of a trade?
And like you said, from here it could, keep going down, try it again, whatever. But
Correct.
here we took advantage of a high percentage opportunity, and that was the point, right?
That is correct. Yep. You did a double bottom bounce, and this is support. And on support, what do we do, everybody, on support?
Calls.
That's right.
Call.
So now we're in calls, right? So if we were in calls from this bottom, double bottom bounce from previous day, now we're respecting right here on this 21 and the 9. So if it's going to pull back, isn't it going to be exactly right here?
A high percentage of the time, yes.
Right? So if you look at it, wasn't it respecting the 21 the whole time?
Yes.
So if it's going to do it, it would be here. And if it doesn't, my calls are still good to VWAP. So if I'm in this and the 21 and 9 are so close, my stop is below this 9 and I allow all of this to work. Here is my stop. This is where I bought it because my 9 being the inverse on the bottom side is where the buck stops, right? You know how I always talk about the 9 and the 21. The 21, I'm always like the 21 is where it ends. That's the end of it, right? Well, you're going through it. We're trying to break through it. So wouldn't my 9 be the inverse of the 21 being the downside of that? So isn't that where I would want my stop? Things that make you go, And now we've got all of this is free territory. And this is where we bought the calls. All of this is profit. And up here, you take your dirty little hands. Look down at your dirty little hands and tell it, don't play with that. Stop dinking around. You've got your stop in place. Why are you messing with it? Leave it alone.
So, coach, no adjustment of stops in any way. You're
Leave it alone.
around.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Leave it
Thank you.
alone, right?
Thank you, coach.
Yeah.
That's the discipline I'm trying to learn. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Because listen, so where did I say, right? Now we're looking at VWAP. Where would be a good point to shed? Wouldn't it be right here? Collect as we go up. So don't I want to shed right here?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
If I bought here and I'm up here, statistically, we know it's going to want to pull back here. Don't I want to get rid of some of this? Right? I want to collect. If I don't collect, I don't gain anything. So this is where I collect. Do I get all the way out?
50%.
No.
No, I don't get all the way out.
No.
Right? I've already got my stop. We've already got our clear definitive stop, which is going to be right here around my 9, right? Because the 21 was above it. The 9 is below it. And now we're getting this tight little coil. I've shed some right here. And for the rest of you master scalpers, where would I add in more? If I shed on this spot anticipating a pullback, where would I add my longs?
Over the VWAP.
Right.
Over VWAP. And where did I get out? Where's my buck stops?
Below the 9.
That's right. Is this all starting to make sense? I know this is an advanced move. This is where it's at. This is how we maximize. Now, didn't this pull back on VWAP? Didn't we all collect some up here? Didn't you now get realized profits because you took some off the table and you collected? And now we're sitting here on support. And if it can't hold support, where's it going?
Down.
Right? But do you see how we made the trade? We still got profit from here to here. We collected here, which typically I'll do a 50% move on the first pullback, which is going to be up there on VWAP. So from here to here, we collected 50% of my trade. And we're still in it from here to here. We're still holding on and my stop's going to be here. Isn't this still a perfect A+ trade across the board any way you look at it?
Absolutely.
High percentage. Thank you.
Yep. And now guess what? If this comes back down to retest, what are we possibly going to be looking at if it breaks below 120?
Lights out.
That's right. If we were scalping and we didn't get into anything, isn't this spot right here, isn't this a straddle or strangle position? It's small, so I don't want you guys getting accustomed to small movements, but isn't the move from here to here and from here to here? So this and this, right? And as soon as it breaks one or the other, isn't that where then I would kill my call or my put? This is the free zone. This is up here is going to end up being profit. This down here is going to end up being profit. So isn't this a perfect bullseye area for a straddle? Double bottom, VWAP, came back through, broke, and now look at it. Now look at it respecting the 9 and the 21 here. You guys see it? Now it is down in the fold down here, right? And those of you that did this straddle at exactly when I said, which was in the middle, right? Here's your straddle. Your cutoff put is right there. That's where I kill my put above VWAP. My cutoff call is down here after it breaks through the downside. All of this is we made no money in this range. Down here is profit. Up here is profit. Make sense?
When do we give up on another double bottom? Like right now, since it's approaching double bottom or triple bottom area, do we try it again?
Well, it's not a double bottom anymore. Now it's a triple bottom, right?
Mm-hmm.
The more times it touches, the more weight it's going to have to finally break through. So it can be touch by. The more times it touches, the more strength it gives it to finally push through that thing. So every time when you guys are making the trade, every time. So if you're going calls on support, fine. But you better know every time we get here, the more and more likelihood of it finally breaking through is going to happen. Okay. So if we do it on a triple, a quad, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times. Sorry, I got a Flint education. I couldn't give you the whole damn thing, but you understand the point. The more times it touches, the more times I'm like, you know what? One of these is going to break through. So now I'm being real cool with that. I don't want to mess with it once we start doing it a lot. Or if it comes back fast. My other rule, as you guys know, if it comes back fast to retest, it's got a lot of strength and it wants to drive through it like it is now, right? So right here, so now you guys in your straddle that killed your calls are getting paid on your puts. And it's just this dance, this little dance, these little movements. It has to stay below this 120.09-ish. But look, it's at 119.79. Now what would I do? I'd go back in time. What's the next major level I need to look for? Where am I going to look? Is it a gold level? How many times is it touched? What am I going to do with it? So on and so forth, right?